We all have difficulty to listen. All of the world, we don't listen. We actually don't listen. We are only fighting for time, and we are only hearing a little bit, little bit, little bit. So the tool to improve the listening is meditation. It's a big problem then. When we're talking meditation, it's a problem. In our school, we talk very nicely, but nobody understands. When we say, let go, relax, let go and relax, they think, okay, it's like having a cigarette in a coffee shop, and that's called relaxation. It's good. At least you have a cigarette and you relax. But what I'm talking about is beyond the sensation of meditation. The internal organs should learn to meditate. Your kidney, your heart, your liver, they should meditate. And that is what we call meditation. The rest, in yoga, we don't care about whatever they say. We don't listen to them because they're not aware of what is meditation. So meditation is not how we feel, but how the internal system feels. But of course, meditation is more than that. Meditation downloads the higher reality into this body to express. But however, it's very important for the organ systems to meditate. And by then only we can truly hear. It's very difficult, how to hear. Maybe those days we live in the jungle and nobody to disturb us, and then we can hear very well. We can hear each other. Nowadays we are living and we can only hear motorbike and cars and trucks. It's very difficult because mind is running. So it is to be truly listening is to culture this meditation, to really be in the depth of your self and not running at all. Leave the time. Sometimes people talk in circles or talk many times the same thing. Never mind. I used to say about 10 years ago, I used to say, not everybody is Shakespeare to say it precisely. They will say, of course, in this way, that way, this way. Only Shakespeare said it so precisely, to be or not to be. Wow. Frightening, Frightening phrase, to be or not to be. Both are not easy. So then we have to culture all these things, because tantrics are more, even though they don't believe, they believe that you are divine and you are, not a human being at all. You're the expression of the divine. But at the same time, they believe that you have to be very humanistic in one sense. To be humanly a Superman, to listen. Humanly Superman, not Superman humanly, And you got to listen, you got to really accept everybody. To accept everybody is a very important factor in Tantra, Not to discount, not to reject, not to, dislike, not to avoid, not to do all those kind of things. One of serious difficulty in communication in the world, it's a world culture now to be not able to communicate efficiently, So first problem is because we don't trust. Second problem, because we don't trust, we feel insecurity. Because we feel very insecure, we want to express self-importance. And because we are self-important, we cannot let the other person decide for us, because I can't trust you anyway. So I have to go and monitor every situation. In the process of monitoring, I want you to promise everything as a contract. And every promise is a contract. So you say to me, okay, this. Are you sure? Can I record your conversation? Can I write it down and take it to the lawyer and make it a contract, a serious contract? And so my insecurity, but I don't see that is my insecurity that I want you to have a serious contract. You know? So it's my insecurity that I feel self-importance. It is my insecurity that I'm making this drama actually. And then I make it impossible for you to function. I make it impossible for me to have happiness. So this is a modern crisis. You know, it's a serious modern crisis. So Tantrics say, first trust the divine. When you trust the divine, slowly, slowly, you will trust yourself. It's important that you trust the divine, and therefore you trust yourself. With the trusting of yourself, you don't judge, you don't get into all those kind of dysfunctional ways of relating with other human beings. You don't do all these things, you know. And so then when you trust yourself, then you don't worry about all these contracts and everything. Then you can trust somebody else. Self-importance is not important, you know. You know, when you're flying, then you're always thinking, you know, is the pilot drunk? Did he have a good, happy bye-bye from his girlfriend? You know, we are always thinking for the other person, not for ourselves. No? So the fundamental factor that is missing in everything is trust factor. So what I think is that the first thing to correct the problem is I become a honest, trusting, skillful human being. And like what Gandhi said, I change so the world can change. If I don't change, then I cannot change anybody. So it's better I change. So I think that you all are great, doing very well. You are strong. You are, you know, facing the world with a lot of dignity. I see that, you know. And the world is at the moment going through a kind of a traumatic crisis. And I hope this balances out. You know, it will balance out. It will become balanced. You know, so the other human being needs assurance. And that is something that we all learn from our childhood. You know, we are babies and we are toddlers and we are learning assurance from mother and father and everybody. So we expect assurance from the whole world. So Tantrics, they usually don't expect anything. They just be themselves, connected to the divine. You know, whichever divine, maybe God, maybe Buddha, maybe Shiva, maybe Krishna, whatever we call. But the fact is, it is the divine. So, in fact, it's a very beautiful ability for the Tantric to be always in the presence of the divine, or let the divine be in our presence. That way, we see the world with love, compassion, whatever the beautiful words are. You know, we see and we don't judge, we don't divide, we don't rule. We don't want to rule. You know, we don't want to rule nothing. We want to love everything. No, that is the Tantra. That is Tantrics. But this love is a little bit of a tricky question. You know, George Harrison was talking. Actually, George Harrison talked all this already, very long ago. He talked very beautifully. That's why he left, he went to the Hare Krishna. Because he thought, you know, the Hare Krishna is talking similar to Christianity. And so he was very happy with the Hare Krishna. He was a vegetarian, you know. George Harrison, you know. So that's what we need to do. We need to, you know, leave behind some of the ideas that we got from our school books and these books and that books, and go closer to God. I mean, God is a very, very frightening word. You know, I don't know why people are afraid of God and they love to be satanic. I cannot understand this. You know, it's better to be with God and not to be with satanic emotions. You know, it's very simple. Download the God into yourself, you know, or upload yourself into God's dimension, and then you can love. If you say, I love you, it makes no meaning. Unless it's God loving somebody through you, or you are loving somebody through God, actually it is meaningless. It's a counterfeit note. It's a money that cannot buy love. So it has to be sacred. We have to be sacred. We slowly have to realize the importance of sacredness in life. You know, it's very important. Then only we can have a lasting sense of peace. Otherwise, it's just, one day it changes, one day it becomes another thing, and then we are always, because if the changes are meaningful, you will be celebrating. But because the changes are so silly, we are unhappy. We are saying, no, I don't want to know this. So let's make a very peaceful relationship with the divine and let the changes be meaningful.